My roommate used my rent money to party. She came home to her stuff on the sidewalk. There was an eviction notice taped to my front door. 3 months of unpaid rent, $7,200. And every single dollar of it had passed through my hands, straight into hers. I'm going to tell you exactly how I made sure she'd find out what that felt like. My name is Libby, and I want you to understand something before I get into all of this. I am not a dramatic person. I don't do confrontation. I don't post about my personal life. I go to work. I come home. I cook dinner. I watch something on Netflix until I fall asleep, and I do it all over again the next day. I am, by every possible measure, the most boring 26-year-old alive. I split my groceries to the cent. I set 3 alarms. I reply to emails within the hour. I say all of this because I need you to understand that what I eventually did, was not something that came naturally to me. It was not my first instinct. It was not even my second. It was the thing I arrived at after every other decent, reasonable, patient instinct I had was completely and utterly burned to the ground. Sarah burned them down. I met Sarah 2 years ago through a mutual friend at a birthday party. She was the kind of person who fills a room, loud laugh, wild hand gestures, always in the middle of some story that had everyone leaning in. She was fun, genuinely fun, the kind that made you feel like the world had more color in it when she was around. When my old roommate moved out and I needed someone to fill the second bedroom, she was the first person I thought of. Everyone told me she was a good time. Nobody told me to check her bank account first. We signed the lease together 14 months ago. A 2-bedroom in a decent part of the city, not glamorous, but clean, close to the train, good natural light in the kitchen. $2,400 a month split down the middle. My half was $1,200. The way we set it up was simple. I Venmo her my share by the first of every month. She logs into the online tenant portal and pays the full amount to the landlord. She was already on the portal from a previous arrangement with the same landlord, so it made sense for her to stay on it. I never questioned it. Why would I? Every month for over a year, I sent $1,200 to @SarahB22 on Venmo, labeled it rent, like clockwork. Sometimes I sent it 3 days early because I hate the anxiety of cutting it close. I have the transaction history going back to the very first month. Every single payment documented. I was not late once. That matters. Remember that it matters. I work in accounts receivable for a mid-size logistics company. I leave the house by 7:45 and I'm usually back by 6:15. Last Tuesday was completely ordinary. Traffic was bad on the bridge. I stopped at the corner store for sparkling water and a granola bar. I walked the last 3 blocks home with my headphones in. I was thinking about whether I had enough eggs for an omelet. I almost didn't see it. The paper was folded and taped to the door at eye level, slightly crooked, the way something gets stuck when hands are moving fast. Official letterhead, bold text at the top. I pulled it off slowly, the tape leaving a sticky ghost on the painted wood. 3-day notice to pay rent or quit. I read it 3 times standing in the hallway because the first 2 times my brain simply refused to process the words. The amount listed, $7,200. 3 months of total rent, October, November, December, unpaid. The notice stated that unless the full amount was received within 3 business days, formal eviction proceedings would begin. The granola bar hit the floor. I didn't notice. My first thought was that there had been a mistake, a clerical error, a technical glitch in the portal, something, because I had paid. I had paid every month. I had the receipts sitting in my Venmo history right there on my phone. I scrolled to them immediately, standing in that hallway, fingers going slightly numb. October 1st, $1,200. November 1st, $1,200. December 1st, $1,200. Sent. Accepted. Every one of them. Accepted by Sarah. That's when the first cold thread of something awful started to wind its way up through my chest. I let myself into the apartment. Sarah was on the couch, legs tucked under her, watching something with her AirPods in. She looked up, clocked my expression, and I watched something move across her face, quick, gone in a second, before she smiled and pulled one pot out. Hey, how was your, what is this? I held the notice out. My voice was steadier than I expected, like my body knew it needed to stay calm for what was coming. She looked at it, and the smile didn't fall, exactly. It just slid sideways, became something else. To watch full story kindly follow on screen instructions.